everybody. Welcome back to the show. It's so good to be here with all of you for our July 2025 filming here. I've been very, very busy now with at my learning center with SAT, ACT season, getting ready for the new school year. Also heavily right now working with my clients, my students and families on college and medical school admissions, essays, resumes, preparatory materials, getting ready, exciting times ahead. Admissions news will be coming for so many of my students, and I hope to be working with so many more of you soon. You've been inquiring. You can continue to contact us at www.educationandinspiration.com. Contact us and I'll be glad to have a consultation with you and work with your family, where I'm still taking students for the upcoming season. But today I want to talk about a very important topic that is becoming highly prominent in college admissions, even medical school admissions, but definitely with college admissions, it's becoming more prominent, especially in the politically and socio-culturally charged, somewhat divisive times we're living here now in 2025. And that issue is civility. That quality college is looking for now is civility, maturity, the ability to have civil, respectful dialogue with other students. I commented last week that Schoolhouse and the Khan Academy have teamed up, and I'm working on this with many of my students to have students join something where they can join something called Dialogues through Schoolhouse, and they can have debates, healthy discussions about hot button issues in our society: climate change, race, gender, and other socio-cultural hot button issues, such as gender affirming care, even or the proper use of artificial intelligence. And what colleges are looking for more and more, and I want to talk about today, is the ability for students to demonstrate that in their 3 to 4 years of high school, and that they have been able to demonstrate their ability to have a respectful discussion, to hear others' opinions, be open-minded, and grow as a person, change their views when confronted with new facts. This ability to have a healthy dialogue or a healthy group discussion is highly important for top schools. And it's something they're looking for more and more. And if you've watched my show, if you've been at my speeches, if you've worked with me, you know one of the key things I talk about with top universities, Ivy League universities, near Ivy universities, they are sellers, these schools. They are not just looking at stats. Of course, you need to have a baseline statistics to be able to keep up with the with the academic curriculum at top schools, Ivy League schools. There is a baseline usually for admitted students, top 25th percentile for SAT and ACT scores, GPA. But keep in mind, as you always hear me say, that when you see a school's statistics for the admitted students, remember, with top schools, Ivy League and otherwise, most people with those statistics did not get admitted. So it must be other qualities colleges are looking for besides statistics, top colleges, when they admit students. So when I see my students the last few years who are getting into Ivies and top schools, one of the things that I'm noticing about all of them, that we're able to demonstrate aptly that they are students who relate well to others, very tolerant, open to all people, friendly, open-minded to people of different backgrounds, and this is demonstrated through their essays, through their recommendation letters, through the activities they've chosen to do, how they spent their time, how they write about those activities. Very, very, very important. And when I work with my students, I help them find the right teachers who see this positive side of them, that can have a civil dialogue, that is involved in bringing people together and uniting people from different backgrounds, and able to have a healthy discussion, as you will see on the schoolhouse.com, the Schoolhouse website run through the Dialogues website run through the Khan Academy. Students are invited now in this application season 2025 to go on and have healthy discussions, and they will get rated by other students on their civility, their friendliness, their ability to have an open mind to different points of view, and they will get a grade. Other students will grade them. If you have enough dialogues and you build up a score, schools like Johns Hopkins, MIT, University of Chicago are participating, and more schools are bound to participate in this. And whatever score you get can be submitted to schools if it's a positive score that you get from other students who work with you, who have dialogues with you, and leave that discussion saying not that all the points you made were right, but they say, you know what, if they hear you say things like, that was a good point, I didn't think of that. Show open-mindedness and have a willing to have a growth mindset. That can be a positive attribute to demonstrate to colleges. It can help them align with your recommendation letters, your essays, and your background, which shows these qualities. So let's talk about how this shows up in college admissions, how students, younger students, can begin to demonstrate this, okay? Colleges, top schools, like as I mentioned with Civility, are looking for emotional maturity, not ideological alignment. They will take students right-wing, left-wing, conservative, liberal. It's not about agreeing with the admissions officer who reads your essay, about their political views. It's about showing in your essays how you approach conflict. There are colleges now, University of Virginia comes to mind, many schools will ask you in their essay, how do you tell us about a time you disagreed with somebody and you had a healthy discussion? And they are looking to see how you answer the question, and they're going to look for verification of the personality traits that you put forth in that essay. They're going to look for verification of that in your recommendation letters from your guidance counselor. If you're seen as somebody that's open-minded, civil, respectful of all, and you read an essay about it, it's going to seem very aligned. They're looking for your ability to be graceful, to be respectful of others, and that comes through in all these ways I'm mentioning, okay? And again, this civility is a new admissions buzzword. If you've watched the news and you've seen the way colleges, there's protests on campuses, and sometimes most of the protests have been peaceful, and that's what top schools want at Columbia and other Ivies, even University of Michigan, other schools, that students that can have healthy discussions peacefully and be respectful of others' views and be civil. Civility helps top colleges see themselves as really on the forefront of social change, of laying the groundwork for a healthy and better society. And one of the ways we build a better society is by not turning to violence and bad things when we disagree with each other, like how uncivilized societies have in the past. In a civilized society, we should be able to be civil and be able to have disagreements with each other respectfully. And that is what top schools are looking for more and more, okay? And again, someone asked me the other day in a talk I gave, they said, what if somebody just fakes this in their essays? Things like this. But authenticity will win. They're going to be able to look at how you handle this in your, not just with your essays. They're going to be looking for how your teachers write about you, how your counselors write about you, the activity. If you've been in Model UN, if you've been in debate club, and you've gotten elected to positions, people must have seen you as respectful. So it's not something that can be faked. You can't just make it up when you apply. As you always hear me say, you apply to college as a student you are and have been, not who you say you're going to be. So people ask me, Mr. Buffer, should I avoid taking any political opinions in my essays? There are mixed opinions about this. My experience is you can state a political opinion about any hot button issue as long as you are willing to show that you understand other points of view and you're willing to be civil to those who disagree with you. It's important to make sure the essay is someone like myself is helping you, that in your own voice you're showing respect for other points of view. Okay, so colleges are trying to create harmonious environments on campus, not necessarily environments where people don't disagree with, but harmonious. And civility is a predictor of campus harmony. If people are harmonious to each other on campus and they're able to be civil towards each other, it will be a predictive way. And one of the ways you can demonstrate this while you're in high school, because remember, colleges, top schools are looking for how you were in high school. Were you somebody that related well to others? If you were on the debate club, if you do the things I'm telling you to do on the dialogues from Schoolhouse, if you are able to demonstrate your ability to have respectful discussions in any form in your classes and anything you could join. One of my students last year did an amazing thing. He was part of a debate club in his school, and he debated issues, and he won an award for civility and respect. Amazing student. Was admitted to the University of Chicago. I wasn't surprised. Illinois and Chicago would be a state that would really highly value that because they could. That's what they're trying to build a campus. And one of the hardest thing when I have to work with families, and some of you have worked with me have heard this, that colleges are not letting you in as an individual. They are building a campus community. They are building a culture. They are building harmony. They are building groups. They are building, a campus that will be reflective of how they would like society to be. So they are going to be, looking for these qualities and your ability to be civil. And of course, civility is aligned with empathy, maturity, your ability to show empathy in your essays, your ability to show empathy in high school. One of my students, amazing, one of the schools, a few schools include Dartmouth, Duke, a lot of schools have peer recommendations, and one of my students got a peer recommendation, and he was able to, and someone wrote a recommendation about him, how my student helped him get through a difficult time and work on his hearing loss. And it was amazing, and he got into, because colleges are looking for students that bring empathy, kindness, the ability to be, not that they don't have strong opinions, but they look at people as a human being first, not an opinion first. And if you can relate to people human to human and see your commonality, we have a better society. That's what makes society better. When we look at each other, we might have different political views, different views about hot button socio-political, socio-economic, socio-cultural issues, but it doesn't mean we don't share a common humanity, and that's what schools are looking for in students. And part of being civil, as I mentioned earlier in this show, is understanding when you're wrong and being willing to see a blind spot, to take in feedback and grow. Even when I work with students on their medical school essays, medical schools will ask students, college students, tell us about a time you're wrong and you course corrected. Colleges know you're going to try to look smart when your application. They want to see students who say, I tried to start this club, I made a mistake, I took in feedback from my advisor, and I got better. That's humility. That's being humble, and that's showing your ability to grow. And that's part of being civil, because to be civil to someone, you have to hear their point of view. You have to take in their point of view. You have to be willing to see your own blind spots and course correct. Okay. So, and of course, this humility often goes along with empathy. Top schools are looking for empathy. One of the greatest stories I tell is I had a student a few years ago, was in the band, and he talked about having a very sound, sensitive student in his ensemble, and he helped this student. He helped him feel more comfortable, and he talked about having to learn about sound, sensitive students. He was willing to grow. He didn't say, I know it all, because you always hear me say, top schools love I don't know it alls, not know it alls. They love those personalities that are willing to learn, know they have more to learn, who are teachable, coachable, and willing to grow. And when the colleges see these qualities, open-mindedness, empathy, civility, the ability to see humanity first, to be respectful of others' opinions, it is something they say, we want this person on our campus. We hope they come. They're going to make our campus better, bring a great energy here, keep our culture here very copacetic, and help enliven it with healthy debate, and help open other minds and open their minds to others. And that's what college is for, to grow before you enter society. And that's also what a liberal arts education is about, which most Ivy League schools are and top schools are. A liberal arts education is about open-mindedness and being open-minded to different views and different viewpoints, and looking at evidence, and not being self-righteous, not being closed-minded. We don't want to have a closing of the mind in our country, because when we stop listening to each other, when we stop being civil with each other, that's when violence and political misfortune happens, and our society gets downgraded. And you, as a future college student listening, you have the ability to go into society, change society. One of the pride I take in as an educator is I love being able to shape students and make sure that, and help them bring out this best side of them, that can listen to other people's opinions, be respectful. They go out to society and they become a better citizen, and then society overall becomes better when each of us works on ourselves and works on connecting to people first, opinions second. Okay? And by the way, this doesn't mean students can't be involved in causes they care about, political ones, anything that matters to them. That actually is something colleges want, as long as they can see that they do it in a way that is respectful of others, inspiring, not promoting any sort of discord, divisiveness. And they want students to promote unity, first and foremost, okay? Not unity of opinion, but unity of humanity. And that's what we want to have in our society, and what, again, top schools, Ivies, near Ivies, are looking for. All colleges want this. When I speak about this, the more selective a school is, the more they can build the class they want. A school like University of Michigan, University of Chicago, Harvard, Yale, they're going to build the class they want. They're going to keep their personality culture the way they want. they want to create create a certain campus atmosphere. They're going to bring students on that fit into that atmosphere. The same thing as I always say for adults listening. You apply to Google. Everybody applies to Google, gets an interview, has a great resume, great track record. When a Google interviews someone, or even Apple, they're saying, who's going to fit into our culture? Who fits in here? And that's where I come in. When I work with families, I try to help students show the parts of them that are not just qualified for top schools, but are a good fit personality-wise for those schools. Okay. So again, the new character issue is civility, that is connected to respectfulness, empathy, tolerance, open-mindedness. So again, join Schoolhouse Dialogues online. Come work with me. While I still have spots, I will help you with your college admissions process. I'm still taking families. I'd love to work with you. Call us up at a consultation. And I hope today was helpful for all of you. And remember, civility is the new character test. And I look forward to seeing you all soon. Have a fantastic day.